Hi, I'm Andrea and welcome to the Mainstream Reiki YouTube channel. In this video, I want to talk to you about this pandemic that we're all experiencing and how it applies to Reiki practice. Number one, if you are just practicing Reiki for yourself and family and friends, that kind of thing, if that's where you were before all of this happened, that's phenomenal and wonderful. But in this time, when we can't really get together, or that might be uncertain for you, it just really depends on where you live and when you're viewing this video. But the main thing is to practice Reiki as much as we can, because as practitioners, we get better and better and better with practice. And what does better even mean? Well, I think that we end up being more comfortable with practicing Reiki. We might also deepen our relationship with Reiki. We might also become more intuitive in our practice. And one way that I've found very much helps with that is distance Reiki. And is it any accident that during the pandemic, that's what a lot of us are doing now, is distance Reiki. There are a lot of advantages to distance Reiki, and one of the advantages is you just get to stay home. You don't have to go anywhere, but so does your client. They can just stay in their own space and experience distance Reiki. Remember, I always use the word client whether you're doing this professionally or not. It's just an easy way to, instead of saying receiver of Reiki. Distance sessions are often more intuitive, that we get clearer on what we're seeing in the session, where we need to go to better help a person during the session. It just, for myself, is much clearer. I think it's because I can be more objective because I'm in my own space and I'm not in the physical presence of another person, their energy, and interacting with them, through eye contact and in physical ways. It's just simpler. They're in their location and I'm in my location. I'm very objective and everything just comes through much clearer. And if you're not there yet with your Reiki practice in the intuitive or that psychic connection, and you want to be, distance Reiki practice is the way to go. That is very much how I got better and better. And how are you going to get practice during the pandemic in distance Reiki if you don't have that many people to work with? One thing I did years ago to get more practice was I was in some different Facebook groups, and one of them I think was on psychic development, and I would do free Reiki sessions on complete strangers in the group. And we would just set up a time and I would do my session, and I practiced tuning into them as I offered Reiki and writing down all of my impressions. I would write them back to give feedback, and they offered me feedback about my accuracy, and I just got better and better at that. I did that several times, and what that helped me do was gain confidence in that aspect of my Reiki practice, because first and foremost, though, we need to get this clear. Reiki's really the energy. So this other part that I offer in my sessions isn't really Reiki, but they really do go hand in hand with a lot of practitioners. If that's what you want to do in your Reiki practice, become more intuitive and offer this other side of guidance to them, there are ways for you to get good practice. So the Facebook group is a great one. Another idea is go back to your Reiki training. Did your teacher provide a class roster for you of contact information of the other students? Maybe you made a connection in that class. Revisit that, because if you can contact people from your Reiki class, you can say, hey, do you remember we took that class together and I'm really looking for some practice. Do you want to trade Reiki sessions with me? And a lot of people are really up for that because they want to practice too. So it's a way for you to receive Reiki, and it's also a way for you to practice giving Reiki. And just the fact that we work with different people, whether you're doing more of an intuitive type session or not, it is very good to practice. All that experience goes to your storehouse of your knowledge and Reiki experience moving forward. There's really no downside to it. You really gain quite a bit. I read an article the other day, and it was reporting that there has been an increase of 400% in the amount of anxiety medication prescriptions since mid-March. And you know, the majority of people out there, they don't want to take those medications. I'm very confident that as we move forward, Reiki is going to gain more momentum and visibility because it's holistic and natural and effective. And if you tune into any of my videos, I'm willing to bet you're here for a reason. You're bringing in light. So don't look at this time as a negative. Look at it for all the positives that it's offering. You get to have more time to practice distance sessions, more time to hone your skills of perception and intuition and psychic ability, or whatever you want to call it, if you want to add that to your Reiki sessions. You've got an immense opportunity for self-Reiki, for doing more self-Reiki, for your own healing and benefit, and that pays off from that moment forward in your life. You can never say that it's a bad thing to work on and heal yourself. What if you want to start a Reiki business, and here we are in the middle of the pandemic? You know what? Get going. Get a website started. You don't even really have to pay for it yet. You could do a free version of it online. There are different platforms. I like Wix.com, Wix.com. That's where I built my website, and it's been great. It's been quite intuitive. I would say 95% of the time, what it looks like on my screen when I publish it, it looks like that on the computer or my phone. And I've used a lot of different website builder platforms, and I tell you, sometimes it's enough to rip your hair out, but I've been pretty happy with Wix.com. The great thing is you're not under pressure to get the website done really quickly. You can take your time with it, because if you're home and you have more time on your hands, why not get creative and really envision the kind of Reiki business that you want to have and put that in that website. Build it according to your vision for what you want to manifest as this winds down. Now, I don't know about you. I don't think this is going to be over anytime in the near future. So I think that we're going to have plenty of time to invest in these things that I'm talking to you about in this video. The bottom line here is, though, you don't need a crystal ball. You don't need to know all the answers to how it's all going to unfold, or even if you don't have an office or a place dedicated to practicing with clients yet in a professional way, that's okay. Build your website and just market yourself as specializing in distance Reiki. And you can even say that due to the pandemic, you are specializing in distance Reiki until it is most comfortable for people to get back together for in-person sessions. So you can always work that detail out later, and it's absolutely true. You're just focusing on distance Reiki right now. But you'll have a fantastic website that has branding and your name and your creativity, and make sure you put your photos on there. And even if you're comfortable with this, make a little video about yourself where you introduce yourself and put that on your website, because especially with distance Reiki, they want to know who you are before they open up their energy bodies to you and become that vulnerable. So I cannot tell you how many times I've heard from people that said, oh, when I saw your photo or I saw that video, I knew I wanted to be your Reiki student, or I picked you to try Reiki with because I saw that photo and that ad in that magazine, or whatever it was. But put yourself out there. Don't be scared. It's all in the name of Reiki. So let Reiki guide you in that. During this time as well, you can be forming your business. You can be establishing your LLC. If you're going to go that route, you can be getting insurance, or at least if you're not going to get insurance yet because you don't know when you might see clients, well, maybe what you want to do is just scope it out and bookmark that website or information about where you're going to buy your insurance. So when you're ready to pull the trigger later, everything is already done. You've put the time in during this lull in activity. You use this time to invest in getting these decisions made now, so that when the time comes, you're all ready to go, making those ideas into a reality much faster. Another great reason for you to get that website up and running now is the longer you are online, the higher you can rank when people do searches. So time is really important. Get on there now, get your keywords and search engine optimization up and going so that Google and Yahoo and all of those search engines can find your website. And the more time they have to do that, then that increases the chance that your site is going to rank higher and higher. You know, not many people go to page 14 of Google, but you can definitely move up closer and closer to the first page with time. Lastly, I just want to say this. What we're going through now is new and different and can be scary. Many of us feel energy very deeply, which can even complicate things more. It's totally understandable if you just want to take time and hide under the covers or unplug and not really be responsible very much for anything. I totally get it, but I also want you to know that we need you. The world needs you and the light that you are capable of bringing through, not only for your own benefit or your families or friends, but for the collective here on earth. And the more we can do that, the more the collective consciousness can elevate and lasting, positive, loving change can occur. It's no accident that you're here on earth at these times. We're in this together. So when you have the energy, when you have the motivation to invest this time in furthering your Reiki connection and maybe your Reiki business, I hope that you will. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, I wish you the highest Reiki blessings.